Joan Burns, Joan Lewelyn Burns has a great story for you. She's closing the evening out strong. Give it a warm welcome to Joan Lewelyn Burns.
Kind of a little leery of this microphone at this point with everyone spitting on it. So I just want to say thank you for letting me tell my stories, and it's kind of like my therapy. And you might need therapy after I do my story today, so I apologize in advance. So this is Tales from a Born Again Virgin, Part 2. So if you missed Part 1, it's not like you really missed too much, because nothing really happened in Part 1, and you don't really need to know Part 1 to understand Part 2. I will let you know that according to the Urban Dictionary, a born-again virgin is someone who has gone over 1 year without a sexual relationship. So in my case, 18 years, no lie, have come and gone without me coming and going, so to speak. So for 13 of those years, I was married, and I want you to stop right there and throw those preconceived notions out the window, because I wasn't the one shutting down the intimacy in my marriage. The other day, I Googled this phrase, how to get your husband to have sex with you. And in 0.48 seconds, I got 1,100,000,000 results. Not kidding on that either. So I'm going to tell you there's a lot of unsatisfied women out there, I think. And yes, some of those results could be about, men in same-sex relationships, but I'm doubting that. So, but Google didn't even need 1 full second to find over 1 billion results. That is the combined population of North America and South America. So it's more than one result for every man, woman, and child in 2 continents. So I guess I wasn't alone. So the next time the guys are at work saying, yeah, the wife isn't giving it up, they're probably lying bastards. So since I split with my ex 3 years ago, I went on exactly 2 dates, and I found those through an online dating site. And let's just say they weren't the best. And, that was kind of it. I was done. But, every once in a while I get a little bit lonely. But unlike our theme song with Kenny Rogers, thinking back to those days with my ex, I did not find those days sweet. And I really didn't love the life I made with him. And I am so glad that I didn't stay with him. But I do miss touching and caressing and the sweet taste of a kiss. And since I am not willing to just hook up with some random man at a bar, or oogle the bag boy at Mariano's, or fork out big bucks for a gigolo, because if I'm forking out big bucks, I'm going to the spa all day. So I guess I need to try the online dating thing again, even though it is hideous, and it sucks the life out of me, and it makes me question my sanity. So I decided to write a very honest profile for the dating sites. Don't get me wrong, my last profile was honest, but I want it to be brutally upfront. My logic is that I will save a lot of time. You don't want to go through all the time and energy of talking to someone online and then meeting them for coffee, only to find out their idea of a good time is a 12-pack of Busch, the value-sized pork rinds, and a Duck Dynasty marathon. I do not want to do that. So I made a cup of tea to steady my nerves. I lit a candle. I grabbed my rose quartz to fill me with love. And I started it like this. I am a full-figured lady. If you don't like that, move along. I don't have time for your condescending body shaming. If you like curves, read on. So I stopped writing and I wondered, is that a little harsh? But I thought, I didn't know, so I kept writing. I am a single mom and my kids are my life. I'm also a special needs mom, which means I don't have as much time as a typical mom. If you are needy and clingy, move along. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I stopped writing again and I thought, men are needy creatures by nature, no offense. And I start wondering, do I even want to date at all? So I just thought, I'll just keep writing. I have my own business, but I am not looking to take care of anyone else. So if you don't have your financial house in order, move along. I'm a feminist. Does that scare you? It shouldn't. Quit being a pussy and move along. I stopped writing and I asked myself, does that pussy piece seem too harsh? I wasn't sure, so I decided, okay, let's try to rewrite that. And so I said, quit being a stick in the mud. I'm like, no. Maybe chauvinism is dead? Or how about women's rights are human rights? And then I said, no, fuck it. Quit being a pussy is perfect, and I kept writing. I have tattoos. Did you ever notice that people with tattoos don't judge people without tattoos? If you feel the need to judge me, move along. I know that you are secretly jealous and maybe a little bit of a pussy too. How is your heart? Yes, I want to know if you are a good person. I also want to know about the health of your heart. I just marked 18 years since my last sexual encounter. And your heart health matters to me because, let's face it, releasing 18 years of pent-up sexual energy may be a little bit intense. And calling an ambulance after your heart attack would be a buzzkill. And not the kind of climax I am looking for. So I stopped writing again, and this time it's a little hard for me. You know, it brings up all the years of my life, and the rejection, the constant belittling, you know, and I can't keep wondering, how do I get back into this game? And then I tell myself, well, it's probably like riding a bike. And then I remember the quote, a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. And I wanted to delete the entire thing and buy a bicycle or a fish. But I decided to keep writing. And speaking of things sex, I believe in the bush. Not George Bush, but the bush. A well-trimmed, beautiful bush. Mother Nature gave us those curlies. And who am I to argue? If you don't like that style, move along. I'm not changing my mind. I stop again and I think, I'm kind of sounding like a depraved individual. Should I be including sexual details in a profile? I'm not sure. I'll leave it for now, as I actually am a depraved individual. I curse, often accompanied by loud laughter. I believe a good sense of humor is very sexy. If you don't, move your crabby ass along. I have heard that anal sex is a big thing now. Well, a big thing for men, at least. If you ask for anal, be prepared to go first. If you love having my vibrator thrust in your ass for several minutes, I'll give it a try too. I think that is a fair deal. If you don't, move along. I stop and read the profile that I've written, and I can't help but notice that my profile doesn't sound like the others on the dating sites. I love long walks on the beach, holding hands ones, or the impossibly upbeat ones that make me wonder what drugs they are on, and can I have some, please? And the ones that the person sounds so perfect that they never accidentally pass gas in their entire life. I start to wonder, maybe it is better not to be so honest all at once. No one would even go on a date at all if we knew everything about the person, all their gruesome details. Once we know them a little better, it's easier to accept their quirks and their oddities. Excuse me. It's like releasing it a little bit at a time, like small hand grenades of truth instead of a giant atomic bomb of knowledge. So I try my profile again from the start. I am a full-figured single mom. I have my own business. I am interested in your heart. And if you don't like that, move along. Thank you.